So, do you have a gig bag rig? Do you know what a gig bag rig is? Well, nobody does because I just made it up. And welcome to the channel, Josh Gordon Music. Typically, I do Line 6 Pod Go videos, but today I just wanted to show you a new rig I've come up with because I like to go out of town a lot, visit relatives and whatnot. But I always like to have a guitar with me. Sometimes I even get some recording session jobs where, I'm going to be out of town, but I need something to record with, and I can't, use the big. I got a Mac Mini here and whatnot. My Focusrite 18i20 interface, all this good stuff. So I came up with a small little rig. So we got an iPad Mini here, and I got this used, a refurbished one. It's an iPad Mini 5, so it's old, discontinued, but it still works. And I've got a small modeler here. Now this one, you can see this is the Hot One, or the Hotone. Hot One I'm going to call it because I don't like Hotone. Hot One, the Ampero One. And now this is key to my gig gig bag rig, because it's small. It fits in most gig bag pockets, depending on the gig bag you have, but a nice big pocket. I'll show you at the end of this video how this slips in just nicely. Now, typically, when I'm going digital, I would love to bring my Pod Go, and I will, but that requires a separate case. So this is kind of like my lazy man's rig, or more so for a rehearsal. You just need do you need all your big, your gear? I mean, some people like to bring all their gear to rehearsal to play through. That's great. That's a great way to get used to the sound of it and to troubleshoot anything you're having issues with if you don't get a chance to do that at home. Fantastic. But I'm fortunate enough that I play enough gigs, at least a couple, two to four gigs a month, and I've done this over the years where I know my gear. I know what combination I can bring to what room, and generally be in the ballpark of and have an ear-pleasing tone. So for rehearsals, though, I'm not going to bring my amps and big pedal boards or what I've been going with. I've actually been using a Sonic Cake Matrobox, the first one. Now that's even smaller than this. It has an expression pedal and two switches on there. So you know what? Let's get that out. I have that here. So this might float your boat too. Now that I'm having connectivity issues with this, with my iPad 5 Mini, maybe because this is USB-C, but this is really, look at that, the size difference, if you could kind of get a comparison. It's really good. I love the sound of it, and I've used that for plenty of rehearsals. But my gig bag rig also, my criteria is something I can record with, and something I could do a gig with if I had to, or a session. More so for a gig, I wanted more than 2 foot switches. So for me, I have this Ampero One. It's got 3 foot switches. It's got expression pedal. So I have something set up here where I have a wah on here, a volume. I have some kind of a lead boost, a delay, and then overdrive. And that would cover me at a gig if I had to, because maybe a little more so over the Sonic Cake Matrobox. Now they have the Sonic Cake Matrobox too, which I'm very interested in looking at. An extra foot switch and more ports. But something like this, you can easily run this into a PA if you had to, front of house, run it into an amp, and it's very easy to use. I find a nice touchscreen. But anyways, you can get this or a Veiltone or a NUX. I mean, get something small. That's the key. So a small modeler that you like. And I chose an iPad Mini because the screen size is enough for me. Like if I was just going to lay down a track, I could actually just drop it in GarageBand, and you can export WAV or AIF, and you're off to the races there, So, basically something like an iPad, a small modeler, and, this I'm using an Apple camera connector, and I'm charging it so that I can, power this. And now normally I wouldn't have these messy, I hate all these cables and crap, but I wouldn't have these. I'm having desktop speakers here. These are cheap Logitech ones, just so that you can hear the rig, because I'm going to give you a couple of samples. But normally, for my gig bag rig, I wouldn't have this, because I would use headphones, like a nice, I have Audio Technica ones, and I would slip those in my gig bag, and that would be my monitoring system. So let's play this and see how this sounds. I just came from a rehearsal song, and I'm not going to tune up. I just thought I would do this quick video. let's record something in GarageBand. So see, I've got my rig here where I can do a gig, do a session. Now I'll say, oh, I'm going to record something. So let's do it. All right, let's play that back. Let's hear how that sounds. Now that's a good line. That sounds good. All right, so there. See, you can use that, and your iPad. You're going to use that for whatever, your ebooks and your internet browsing and all that, your Facebook and all that crap that you like. But this is a great little gig bag rig tool that you can take to the gig if you had to. Or you could, you're out of town, you're traveling, but you got to get a little bit of, you need a couple hours to do some work. Or if you're like touring musician, and obviously you're not going to have all your gear from the gig coming into your hotel room. Well, guess what? Something like this, again, fits in the pocket of a gig bag. So you know what? Let's put it in the pocket of a gig bag just so I can prove my point. All right, so here's my gig bag. Now this is a pretty, good pocket, and this is for my Chige TLV, which is a Tele style guitar, and I love it to death. Now this gig bag pocket got some good room. See, if you have something like, and unfortunately, I'm not trying to knock you, Paul Reed Smith, guys, love you, but your gig bags that I usually get, the pocket's way too small. I mean, I can jam this stuff into it barely, but this is a nice size pocket. So here's my Ampero. Okay, boom, and it's up to here on my, look, I got room. Obviously my iPad, boom, and I still have all this room. I have tons there. If I can even get just, you can see all the room I still have in here for cables and all that stuff. You could easily take this rig out of town. You could do work. You can do a gig if you had got a last minute call. So there you go. There's my gig bag rig, and I love it. And I am definitely going to be using this more, definitely for all my rehearsals. Depending on the band, like some might require more, let's call it authenticity with some pedals and whatnot. But hey, I just rehearsed tonight. This was the rig I used. I didn't need the iPad. Just had the Ampero, 2 patch cords, the power adapter it came with, plugged into the house amp there at the rehearsal studio, and I was gold. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and please consider subscribing. Appreciate all your viewers, all the returning viewers, and we'll catch you in the next video. Take care.